What is up, YouTube? It is your boy, Classic Tony. I am at it doing something a bit different today. I was on YouTube and I stumbled across two wonderful videos. One by Beat 'em Ups and the other by Nathaniel Bandy. Both talking about very similar topics, right? I think they were inspired by each other, or I'm not sure who was first, but anyway, I was inspired by both of them because they specifically talked about how terrible the Nintendo Switch online shop is. See Nathaniel Bandy's video for that one, and the Nintendo eShop. See Beat 'em Up's video for that. And so I was inspired and I just wanted to talk about all of the random little things that I think that the Switch does wrong, because there are so many little details that are, just between these two, the eShop and the online store, but I think that there are so many little improvements that need to be made. So I'm going to go into specifically what I want, physical hardware changes for the Switch 2, as well as some software changes that I think hopefully you guys agree with me on. We'll find out. So let's dive into it. So in terms of hardware, I think we can all agree that the Joy-Cons are trash. Just they're terrible. The fact that the Joy-Cons were notorious for drift was just something that Nintendo had to address and had to pay out on, basically. You could get free repairs on your Joy-Cons for free from Nintendo because they knew how bad it was. And I think they still offer that, you just have to ship them in, which is a testament to why they are so bad. Yes, the HD rumble feature is extremely accurate, but it leaves the controller wanting more. The drift problems, the joystick problems, the button stick issues, as well as the Joy-Cons getting stuck in the dock and other hardware issues similar to that, means that the next series of Joy-Cons really need to be more thought out. I think a more solid joystick would really just solve a lot of those problems, as well as maybe some updates. The next issue I wanted to bring up was everything that is the connection system, like how the Nintendo Switch is a handheld at one point and then docked as the other point. When it is docked, it is purely sitting on what is effectively a mount. And if that mount even slightly gets tilted or damaged or something, it's basically useless, meaning that the Switch is in a pretty dangerous position being in that mount if it gets knocked over, something falls, etc. The docks themselves are very cheap. They aren't very well made, they're cheap plastic, and I think that they need some weight in the bottom, more weight in the bottom, to make them a bit more of a base for when that Switch is docked. And maybe even some kind of system that would allow the Switch to be locked in place if you wanted to. You could put a clip over the top or something where it basically just holds the Switch a little bit better to prevent any damage or disconnection or anything that could lead to some sort of issue. And lastly is with the OLED Switch releasing, there are a lot of features that Nintendo was just so late to the party on that they're just not even worth bringing up, but I'll bring them up here. That is more ports, and especially an Ethernet port. That should be standard. This is pathetic. Come on, Nintendo. So next we move on to software, specifically what is the Switch home screen here. And I gotta be honest, it's just very flat. It feels stale and there's no life going on. And what I mean by that is the game icons really are what shine. They stand out, they're bright, they're colorful, there's a little bit of a drop shadowing effect as well as the box effect that has the game highlighted with the game titles. I like how Nintendo has done this, but it's very one size fits all. Something I'm going to get into a lot in this video is how there is no sense of theming. Everything feels random. I understand there is the dark and the light theme, but it doesn't allow me to change anything about those themes. So I am always stuck with this blue box and the blue text. I am always stuck with this off-gray dark background. I am always stuck with these icons being the color that they are, the shape that they are, the things that they are. This is Nintendo. Why are they not letting us have more fun with what is effectively the home screen? And that's going to be a consistent theme in this video, is I feel like Nintendo is stifling the fun. So specifically on customization, like I said with those themes, it's just the little things. Being able to change the background colors, or being able to use your album images as backgrounds. There is no reason I cannot use this picture I took of Mithra from Smash as a background on my home screen. There's no reason. None. I can't think of a reason Nintendo can make other than, oh, well, your icon can't be a picture because then you could put something inappropriate. Okay, fine, but my home screen is only visible to me, right? Why can I not use the photos that I've taken in game, that I like, that I enjoy, that look nice as backgrounds, right? Like, if I want to put a little freaking dev cat as my background, why can't I do that? That's all I want. It's just an adorable little dev cat from Session. So I gotta be honest, I don't really dislike the Profiles tab all that much. I find that there's a lot of just disconnected sort of things. You have this Profile tab, your friends list, some things work and some things don't. For me, I don't feel like this Trending tab is almost... it feels out of place. It feels like it was sort of unnecessary or an afterthought, just to sort of show you games that people you're friendly with are playing. In my opinion, this should really be integrated into the profile, right? Show me my profile, my information, the last 2 or 3 games that I played, and then give me what is trending, so that way I know what my friends are playing, and we consolidate some of these menus so that it's simpler and cleaner. And again, just like combining the Trending tab with your personal profile, why is there this friends, friend list, friend suggestion? I feel like this could all sort of be integrated into one tab, and we could start getting these things simpler. So that way we just have settings, maybe friends, and then online, and boom, that's it. The last point I want to make, just like all of these tabs, this feels very stale. It feels very lifeless. It feels very almost mechanical, like very business, very serious business. I am Nintendo, and we must present professionalism. Let us have more fun. Give us some fonts to play with, give us some color changes, give us some new menu options. That's all I'm asking for. Next up is the Nintendo Switch Online tab. I'm not going to go into too much detail here. You can see Nathaniel Bandy's video on that one, because he makes a lot of great points, and I encourage you to go check that out after this. So right off the bat, one thing that really irks me about this menu is it's always white. I have dark theme enabled. Why is this not dark? I have dark theme enabled. This should be dark. I'm sorry, Nintendo, you dropped the ball again. If you're only going to give me 2 theme options, why is this menu locked to one of those 2 themes, red and white? Okay, give me red and gray. Jeez. I also can't help but think that this online play tab could be so much more. Something with friend integration, showing me what games my friends are playing that are supported by Nintendo Switch Online. There's nothing like that. There's nothing that allows me to see my family, my friends, other users, etc. who I've played with, and what games they might be playing that are Nintendo Switch Online enabled. It just feels like this is all my stuff. It's all about me. Whereas I wish that it was more about the online service and connecting with other people. I know Nintendo doesn't like messaging services, so it's hard to say, oh, we'll include a messenger. But even just being able to share what rewards you got with your friends, or being able to send your friends little reward, almost like stickers. Like, for example, these are, Nathaniel Bandy goes into a great part of his video about why these are just garbage, and I'm not even going to talk about how much I hate them. But why, if I spend 10 silver on this adorable little peach icon thing, can I not just send this to a friend with a little message or something, like a Nintendo approved message? I don't know. This just feels like a very wasted opportunity when you're trying to talk about what is effectively online connection and communications through the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, the news tab is so dead it may as well be a sub-menu. It is disorganized, impossible to search, and finding channels is easy. Yes, you can follow the channels you want, but then you're overwhelmed with data. You're overwhelmed with posts and comments and things, depending on the channels that you follow. I think a simpler way to do this would be to just consolidate each channel that I'm following into one tab, then put those into sub-menus, so that way I can see everything that Pixel has posted up to date. And then I can see everything that, for example, Animal Crossing has posted up to date, Nintendo, Terraria, etc. Give these guys their own little categories so that I'm not just infinitely scrolling through endless news feed. You gave yourself a featured tab, give everybody else their own tab. Next up is the eShop. Again, not going to go into too much detail here. Beat 'em Up's video pretty much covered everything I would say. My big talking points are, it's too freaking slow. Even I'm on a hardwired connection and it takes light years to load just because of how much information is truly in here. I get it. I just feel like maybe creating some pages so that I could scroll through so that it doesn't have to load so much content all at once, maybe that would help. I don't know. I'm not in the knowledge of that, but I think it should be faster. And again, I know that this is the eShop, but why is it not dark theme? If I have dark theme enabled, this should be a nice shade of gray. It doesn't need to be white, you're just making it white because I'm in the eShop? That doesn't make any sense. The last thing I want to touch on is how the lack of an algorithm not only makes it difficult to find anything, which Beat 'em Up brings up in his video, but also the underutilization of this featured tab. So the lack of an algorithm means that it's damn near impossible to find any actual games you're interested in. So the lack of an algorithm is why I feel like the featured tab could be better utilized. This is currently being used to show me the Nintendo approved games or the best sellers, right? And so that's fine. I understand Nintendo wants to sell their stuff, but why isn't this featured tab, which is for me, right? It's a featured game for me. Why doesn't it use an algorithm to show me indie games I might like? Smaller titles or published games by other publishers that I downloaded games from previously and things like that, alongside the Mario parties and the Zeldas and the Minecrafts. To me, this tab could be an amazing way with just a small amount of tweaking and a simple algorithm could really be utilized to show just how amazing some of the games are on the Switch, and it would make them so much easier to find. Oh ho ho, the albums tab. I gotta be honest, I'm very divided on this one. I don't mind how it's set up. I like the design. I think that, maybe having the ability to customize, again, themes and customization is all I want. Maybe I can make them circles, maybe I can make them squares. We're splitting hairs at that point. I don't mind this menu. I don't mind the UI. I don't mind how it looks. I think it looks nice. That said, the usability of the integrated features here is laughable. Nobody is posting to Facebook from their Switch. Nobody is sending photos and videos to their phone to post. I think that if Nintendo really wants to integrate, and jump to the 21st century for that matter, they'll include the ability to edit your photos in video in real time. So that way you have some almost social media-like editing tools so that you can edit your photos, edit your videos, and then post them to all social media platforms. Why? If we have the Nintendo app and I can connect the Nintendo app to my account and I have an album, can I not pull up that album on my phone and then edit my photos and videos there and post them on social medias? It just feels like a missed opportunity by Nintendo. It's like, oh, we gave you the ability to save all these photos and videos, but they're stuck on your Switch and you can't do anything with them. Controllers tab, I'm going to be really quick here. I think it could just use a bit of a refresh. It feels very sterile, like a lot of the other stuff. I don't mind the menuing, I don't mind the sub-menus, but again, give us some customization, give us some themes, so on and so forth. Let us name our controllers. Let us name our controllers. I don't think that's asking too much. Lastly, the system settings tab. I can't fault this one too much for design. I honestly just understand why Nintendo wants to make this one feel mechanical, because it's supposed to be. It's your settings. It should be easily navigatable, easily searchable, easily findable. That said, there is no useful search feature here. If I want to find out accessibility features or something more specific, there's no real way to search that. For example, if you want to reset your Switch to factory settings, you have to know to go all the way here to find that feature. Just a simple search tool would make this so much useful. Press the Y button, type in a simple search term, and see what comes up. That would be so useful. Additionally, I think the ability to rearrange tabs to fit your wants and needs would be so useful. For example, why is health and support and safety at the top of the menus? I understand it's important for maybe parents and users to understand the health and safety risks that come with a console, but once you've read it once, you don't need it again. Why can I not just move this to the bottom of the menus so I don't have to see it every time? And for example, being able to move the Internet tab, which is arguably the most important tab for most players, to the top, so that way you don't have to navigate through more unnecessary menus to find what you need. Again, it all circles back to customization, being able to put things where you want them, move things around, and just simplify the way you want as the end user. And this is just more of a personal gripe than anything, but why is this here? Why is controller and sensors in the settings options? Why is this not in the controllers tab or like navigatable from the controllers tab? This just feels unnecessarily hidden from the end user. Make it easier to find. Some of this stuff is really important. Some people say if you update your controllers, it can solve Joy-Con drift. I don't know if that's true, but people say it. I'm not gonna, don't fact check me on it, but updating your controllers is an important thing to do. It updates the something. It does, it's important. And I didn't know to do it until I found this menu. It's stupid. Make it easier to find, Nintendo. In conclusion, I think my 3 biggest points and takeaways from all of this are that Nintendo really needs to start giving us back more themes and customization. I understand that they want to kind of control what we do online, control what we say, have the Nintendo sensors, whatever. But like, in terms of my hardware, in terms of what I see when I turn on my Switch, I really think that we should have more customization tools, more integrated themes, the ability to change fonts, colors, icons, shapes, everything. Let me do what I want with my menu. Let me have more fun. This is Nintendo we're talking about, the company that is built on fun. Why can I not customize more? Why can I not have more fun with my menus? Well, that's pretty much all I got to say. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe if you want more. And that said, as I always say on this channel, please take it easy and peace. Oh, you thought I forgot the sleep mode? Psych, that's the best button there is!